is happening here with my thing? There we go. Yay! Hello! Nomming some pizza. Let me see here. I actually need to do my thing. Back to Twitch. Channel. Alright. I'm in. Let me pause. There we go. Oh, wait. I can just do it here. Twitter. Cool beans. Yippee! Okay, there we go. Checking all of my stuff. Alright, there we are. Hello! We're just gonna yap for a bit. Yep, for a bit. I'm eating some pizza. Today is the start of Soon Scoop's event. I'm gonna be supporting my friend Lavi at it. I'm excited. Let me get my stuff, pulled up so I can see you guys. Oh! Cool, I can see my chat. Because I opened up my computer. Cool beans! Let me actually, zoom in a little bit. There we go. There. They're a little bit, closer. Actually, let me take off the cat ears. But yeah, no, so, oh, hi, Kit Kat! Welcome, welcome, hun! I am MomoYumeko, magical girl in training. I do cozy streams, TTRPG streams, and gaming over here on IRIAM, and a few days a week over on Twitch. Welcome, welcome! We're doing just chatting, just yapping. Fun times. I've got pizza. Let's get some music up real quick, actually. Yeah, I hope everybody's day's going well. Mine is decent. Here we go. We'll do the chill playlist.
Mint's premium wireless is
So it's like in the background. There we go. I might do some go working. It honestly depends on what I feel like doing. Oh, I need to get my ice thing. I have a water bottle in the freezer. Hang on. We're getting up for a second. Do not worry. It's right behind me. Water bottle. Water bottle ice. There we go. It's hot as heck in here, so it kind of helps me regulate body temp. I would take the setup outside into the living room, but I don't know when fam gets home, so. Or what fam is here, so I don't want to do this out in the living room. I would, though. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. We're just vibing. Hi, Aloha Cube! Welcome, welcome, hun! Numbing some food while just yapping to the aether. I am numbing some pizza. Pizza's the food of the day. It's a chicken Alfredo, spinach pizza. I would if I could. One of my love languages is food. I like making homemade pizza. But yeah, no, I love chicken pizza. But yeah, hee 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 hee, the pizza. I mean, there's worse cravings. Pizza's so easy to make too. It's just like whatever you have in your fridge. I've made pizza using spaghetti sauce before. Oh, thank you for the follow, hun. And with that, we met our goal. Heck yeah. Hee. Now you can't leave. I say jokingly. You're free to come and go as you please. Hi, Equator! Welcome, welcome on! We're just vibing, eating some pizza. Also, if you, hear me talking to someone else, I am talking to IRIAM chat. Over on Twitch end. It's vice versa with, IRIAM chat. I balance too! There we go. I balance two of y'all. There we go. What's that? So IRIAM is a vertical streaming platform. More like kind of like how TikTok Live is and everything. But it's primarily for VTubers. I actually use a PNG tuber model over there. I use my, of course, have my, custom model here. But yeah! It's just a let's chatting kind of feel. Very low latency, it's crazy. It's completely different from how, Twitch normally functions. I normally don't do just chatting streams. I do a lot of gaming streams. But yeah, a lot of people on the platform do like co-working or just chatting streams. Some of us do use it as like a secondary way to do streaming. I often do co-stream. Yeah, exactly, Egglater. Egglater. I keep on saying your name wrong, I'm so sorry. But yeah, no, it is very much more like friends hanging out. It's very one-on-one. It's really cool. But yeah, I just kind of yap, talk about D&D, my day, games I'm playing, which this week we're actually doing D2 streaming later this week. I think starting Thursday. Our last hurrah through D2. It's kind of preemptive because I've been playing Final Fantasy and a lot of oh, Destiny 2. Yeah, rest in pieces, Destiny 2. Though, I do want to play through the Diablo games eventually. Also, hi, Def is here. Welcome, hun. I am MomoYumeko, magical girl in training. I do cozy streams, TTRPG streams, and gaming over here on IRIAM and a few days a week over on Twitch. Welcome. Do you play For Honor? I want to get into it. It looks interesting. If I remember it right. Hang on. Let me check it real quick. Because I think that's what I'm remembering. For Honor. Oh, wait, I should probably, duplicate. No, don't. Meow. There we go. Oh, yeah, I remember For Honor. I might try it. I have so many games right now on my docket. Currently, my current games I'm playing through right now is, let's see here. We're getting through D2 again. That's one that we're going through this week up till 9th. Well, actually, not until the 9th. So, what I'm doing is, I'm going to be going through, because I stopped playing after Final Shape. I stopped playing after Final Shape, and then, haven't played through neither Edge of Fate or Renegades, so I'm doing that on my main Warlock, starting Thursday. And then we're gonna play Destiny until the 9th, because we're going to do Last Hurrahs. We are going to do as many dungeons, raids, and even start a new character and go from Shadowkeep onward from there. Also, hello, Vocal Cat. Welcome, hun. And that's the plan for this next, like, week or two. Yeah, we're having a good day. I'm eating some pizza. And just yapping. Ah, heck. I hate when that happens. Yeah, no, I need to try For Honor sometime. It looks interesting. I'll definitely have to give it a try one day. Oh, I'm probably, once we're done with Monster Hunter. Um, I'll probably put out another poll for what we want to play next. Um, some of those are whole series, so like not Destiny, Divinity, Original Sin 1 and 2 is on there. Um, more CRPG based. I don't know. See, I want to try For Honor. I haven't played it yet though. Wait, it came out in 2017? It's been that long? I feel old. What the heck? Yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but I am willing to give it a try. I give bunches of games, new games tries. That's how I was with Destiny. I always feel old. I do too. Do not worry. Um, For Honor. No, I'll definitely have to try it. Mm. Hi, Dark Dragon King. Welcome, welcome, hun. I don't blame you. Yeah, I didn't realize For Honor came out in 2017. I'm gonna add it to my wish list. Just cause, it seems like something I would like. Oh, thank you for the follow, CV7272. Welcome, welcome, hun. That's no problem with me. I don't mind Ubisoft. Also, hello, Let. Welcome, welcome, hun. Oh, yes. I love Deed, too. I like Destiny in general. No, sadly. I know how to read Spanish a little bit, but it takes me a minute. But I am trying to work on getting to where I can speak a little bit better with Spanish. I get very tongue-tied because I have a speech impediment. Have you played Raymond? Are you meaning Rayman? Because it might have auto-corrected. Because if it's Rayman, yes, I've played the first game. Oh, first games. Back on the PSP. But yeah, no, I'll probably definitely give this a look. I've never played Rayman Legends, but I remember playing the PSP game, one of the PSP games. Hang on. It's been a hot minute. I think it was just Rayman. I don't remember. So, this is gonna come as a shock. I am a big Dark Souls fan. Specifically, one of my beloveds is of... I'm sorry! Dang! I'm a big Dark Souls fan, but I like any kind of game for the most part. I always give stuff a chance. Oh yeah, blood and gore don't really bother me. I like playing Dark Tide if that says anything. Yeah, I like playing Dark Tide. So, and that's a Warhammer game. Oh heck yeah, yeah, I love Dark Tide. Me and a couple friends of mine like to play it offline because I could never on this channel. Oh, it's because I would want to play it with those friends. Thank you. And um, that brings out the demon in everyone. So, yeah, I also try to stay away from games like that in on my channel personally. I do like Mortal Kombat. So I liked Soul Calibur a lot more than Mortal Kombat because I like arena fighters a lot. Yeah, I really liked arena fighters. I hope we get another Soul Calibur eventually, but I have no idea if we will or not. Hmm. Oh gosh, Scorpion is a good one. Hmm. I'm trying to think of who I would want to classify as my favorite. I think I liked Reptile a lot, if I remember right. It's been a hot minute since I played Mortal Kombat. No, I think I really liked Reptile a lot. Mostly because he was green. Um, I'm a very simple woman. I am a simple creature. I play based on color. And Sub-Zero. Yeah, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, uh, and Reptile were probably my three favorites. Katara was hot, don't get me wrong, but I didn't really like how she played. Character designs, I really liked Katara. Or Katana. Not Katara. Katana. But, yeah. I like that stuff. So you like the ninjas? Yeah, I like the ninjas. And I'm also the very hot take. I don't really like the DLC characters in Mortal Kombat. So like adding in like Freddy Krueger and an alien and all that. I'm not a big fan on it. I was the same way with Soul Calibur back in the day. Back in Soul Calibur 2, um PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo all had a different character. Um, so with Soul Calibur 2, it was for Nintendo Link. They added Link. Um, PlayStation, which was the version I had the one guy from Tekken. Oh, I can't remember his name. And I can't remember who it was for Xbox. Hang on. Yeah, Hitachi was for PlayStation. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, it was Spawn! Right! It was Spawn! Which was probably the wildest one of the bunch. But yeah, no, the only one I really kind of liked was the fact that Link was in it. But also, like, Soul Calibur's a little wacky anyways. Gosh, I love um those types of games though. What? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I never played 4, sadly. That's another one I want to play on stream is all the Soul Calibur games. At least the ones I can find. Mostly because, like, oh, that would be so cool. Be like reliving my childhood. Because I'm a big sucker for arena fighters. Like, my partner got me into Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Simply because he was like, oh, it's an arena fighter. And I'm like, say no more. Say no more, my heart. I am there. And I remade a Dragon Ball OC of mine in Xenoverse. Exactly. It does feel like a dead series. I have a feeling that we're not getting another one. To the IP graveyard it goes, sadly. It'd be nice if it got the Tekken 8 treatment, but I don't think it will, sadly. Which is a shame. It's such a fun arena fighter, you know? It's so fun. Oh, I see a message. Beom, beom, beom. Hi, Vanterev! Welcome, welcome, hun. Has it? Hang on. When did Soul Calibur 6 come out? Soul Calibur 6 came out in 2018, so over in PlayStation 4 era. So we still haven't gotten anything for... Yeah, so 8 years. How long was it between the Tekkens? So 7, release date. That was 2017. Then Tekken 8. So 2024, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so about 7 years. We have a chance. We have a chance. Come on, Bandai. Come on, Bandai. Give us another Soul Calibur. Also, thank you for the stars, Vant. Come on, Bandai. You can do it. Honestly, I do feel like Soul Calibur 6 was kind of forgettable. IMO, but, you know, it is what it is. Like, I don't mind it. It just feels weird that they went really hard on the trying to make like different stories that you have to play through. Like, it's not bad. It just felt a little weird for a Soul Calibur game. But I also so I went from playing Soul Calibur 2 on the PlayStation 2 to Soul Calibur 6. Which you did still have like the character stories for each of the characters in 2. You didn't have your own character. And with Soul Calibur 6, you have all the roster to go through. And then you have your own character to go through. If you play the story. And that was bonkers. Like, absolute bonkers. I mean, it's not bad, it's just, it was a lot of reading. I think I sat there for longer than I thought. And, like, if I wanted to play a CRPG, I would go play, like, Baldur's Gate. Or, Wrath of the Righteous or something. One of the Pathfinder games. Or Divinity. Which, I love those games. Don't, mind you. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, we might get another one. Also, thank you for the follow, Vant. We might get another one. I've seen weirder. I mean, Okami is getting another game. So, like, if Okami's getting another game, freaking, I think anybody is. Anybody can at this point. We don't know what the heck people want to bring back. Because holy heck. Exactly, it is a Namco game. Oh, hang on. And bonk. We had a bot. Be gone. But yeah, no, my water is wanting to spill all over me. Hang on, let me grab my cup. We're gonna do some mad scientist stuff here. Wait, my throat is not doing well right now. I want to open this without pouring water out on myself. Woo! Where? Yep, there we go. Got the water open. It's frozen, so it's got tension. There we go. Now I got water on my desk. That's fine, I can just grab my paper towel and mop it up. But yeah, no, I hope we get one, but it's Namco, so it's hit or miss, depending. I mean, it could be also, like, I personally didn't like it. I mean, I could see people really liking it. It's a shame that we haven't gotten another one. Like, the fighting was really good. Because that's mostly what I go into a Soul Calibur game for, is the fighting. I really like it. I hate that. I hate the modern gaming space right now. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't do political stuff. Well, I mean, this isn't political in the traditional sense. But I have words with the devils on top. I swear the gaming industry is ran by Asmodeus himself. It has been cursed. But I mean, it is what it is. I like playing my more retro games anyways. Like like I was saying earlier, I kind of want to pivot to doing a CRPG next for streaming. Yeah, no, they've taken the Hollywood route. If we get big VA to voice in our game, it's going to do well, promise. Like very much promise. Yeah, no. Ah, Fallout. Yes, Fallout 1 and 2 would be fun to do. I have a few on my Steam. Hang on. Library. Open. Alright. So I do have both divinities. I have both the first original sin and the second one. Um a second. We have Pathfinder Wrath, which I do eventually want to do a Wrath of the Righteous run. Yeah, no, Divinity is so good. Um my small collection of Warhammer, of Mechanicus and Rogue Trader. But I also have Elder Scrolls in here. Where is Elder Scrolls 2? There's Daggerfall. I have both Daggerfall and Arena to eventually play. So we're good on games for now. Yes, Neverwinter Nights. I do need to get into Neverwinter Nights eventually. Yeah, you have a good night. Stay safe, hun. I don't want to come and protect you. Yeah, Elder Scrolls is pretty good. Whether or not we get the next one is beyond me. That has turned into the next GTA 6. Because we actually have a timeline for GTA 6. It's like supposed to be sometime this year. But yeah, no, I love it. I'm keeping an eye on Discord, because when Lavi starts her stream over on IRIAM, I am going to go and support her. Because she is starting the Soon Scoops thing. Hi, Captain Rex! Welcome, hun! I am MomoYumeko, Magical Girl in Training. I do cozy streams, TTRPG streams, and gaming over here on IRIAM, and a few days a week over on Twitch. Welcome. Sir. Oh gosh, you just reminded me, I need to rewatch Clone Wars again. Star Wars Clone Wars. I do know, unironically, Thursday, we're gonna be starting on doing the Divinity, or not Divinity, the Destiny expansions I haven't played yet. I have 2 expansions to play through before the 9th. That being Edge of Fate and Renegades. So we're gonna have Star Wars content. I like Star Wars, even if it's a little weird right now. I was a reader of the books and Clone Wars. Oh, my model's all wonky right now. Camera, why? Why do you hate me? There we go. That's a little bit better. I guess I could work a little bit on some stuff. I need to do some... Here comes Starin with the frogs! In a strand! Hang on, let me get my frogs up. Let me get the frog up. Alright. Let's see here. Frog. Frog. Make it lower. Let's see here. How many frogs do we get? Love you too, Estrella. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm terrified. You've been holding on to those points. Star. Let's see. We're gonna do this a little different. We're gonna have like a bunch of them all over the place. It's 1. Oh no. You guys over on IRIAM can't see what one of my chatters over on Twitch said. So I have, for context, I have a redeem on Twitch where you can put frogs on me. It's my frog redeem. And Star has mentioned that they have 9.1k of channel points. Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we got 7. Whoops. I did not open it correctly. There we go. Only frog. Only frog. Yee, the stabby frog. Oh yeah, I forgot to show. The same artist that did these also has one for foxes. So we might have an addition to the collection of plushies. I'll just make it like a plushie redeem. Yeah, they have fox plushes now. Let me move this down a little bit now that we're I could send you the thing. I don't know if it's still free or not, but I completely forgot to send you it. I think I was meaning to last night and then got sidetracked. I'll actually do that real quick after I'm done doing frogs. That's the last frog for now. Alright. Let's see here. I think I bookmarked it. Did I bookmark it? I did not bookmark it. No! Oh wait, I might have bookmarked the frogs though. No, I did not. No! Hang on. Rapidly going over to it. Latest. Because they did it yesterday. Oh wait, I'm a dum-dum. I can just go over to their VGen. Yeah, no, if when they release Bat plushes, I am instantly sending it to her. My orders. Because I know I grabbed it. I think. No, I did not. Shop. Rogues. You're going into the depths. Ah, they're not free anymore, but I can still send it. Copy. You're gonna love them. They're like $3. It's not too bad. Where are you, Star? Here you are. Beast. There we go. Not as much variety as the frogs, but still very cute. Could have swore I grabbed it though. I think I was going to and then didn't. That was a good possibility. Oh! Ooh! SameAme update model update. I'm gonna grab that real quick. Do we have what it is? No, we do not. I think- oh, right! I forgot to do it yesterday. When the SameAme model update dropped. It's, we got new Banui ears. For it. So let me open up- I'm gonna go ahead and do the update for it. Downloads. Up into here. Extract. So we're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna update our model real quick. Might as well. I'm not doing anything else. You're gonna see biblically accurate Momo. I wonder how this looks on screen. Oh no, it's nothing bad. Default Chan. Hee hee hee. Not for long though. me see here. I think it's here? Yeah, no, same. Auto setup. Copy from other model. 1.4. Copy hotkeys, expression, art mesh settings. Yeah. There we go. For now. Hi, Hana! Welcome, hun! I am MomoYumeko, magical girl in training. I do cozy streams, TTRPG streams, and gaming over here on IRIAM, and a few days a week over on Twitch. I'm updating my SameAme model actively with Twitch. Because it updated last night, and I'm like, ooh! Yoink. And I've been promoted from big sister to mommy. Yeah! We're just vibing. Let's see here. I'm gonna check out the new... Because if it's cute floppy bunny ears, I am going to swap out our Banui toggle ears. Welcome over on Twitch and Hana. Bloomfay. Oh wait, let me check you out, because it says that you're a pre-debut. Oh, you're a Bondi! I'm already following you! When did I follow you? I don't remember. Yeah, welcome! Hehehehe. Hang on. Oh, wait, I need to add our frogs to this one. Hang on, let me grab the frogs. Your frogs will not go down in vain. Where's Frog? Frog. Thank you. Well, at least with this bit, we can put them on the desk. Okay, so animal ears. I don't see any new ones. Unless they're a different type of ear. Hang on. Ear. Ear side face. Oh! We have floppy bunny ears! So, okay guys, do we like these ears? Or do we like the floppy bunny ears? I don't know. I kind of like both. Pointing up. You like the normal ones? Both are really cute. These do have a little bit more movement. Hang on, let me... Oops. Turn off those. And then turn that on. Ooh! You're so right! We could do Alien Bunny. That could be something I, work on as a actual toggle. Dream Banui. I think for now, the bunny toggle we'll keep with these ears, and then we can make our own, bit. Let's see here. Let me get our frogs real quick onto the desk. Move that up. Like so. Also, as you guys can probably tell, I left Dobby for reasons. I'm not going to say those reasons because, they are threatening to sue people. Wah! Okay. Yeah, no, that works. That helps a lot. Let me move these off to the side so I could see where I'm placing the frogs. Big frog! Yeah, they grow, they come out huge. There we go. That actually works a lot better, so we'll do 3 at a time. For now. They do have little hands! They have little, paws! They're really cute. Yep. Yeah, no, so the whole thing with W was, really bad. Things happened with the CEO. You know what? We're keeping it on the, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we need one more frog. Yellow frog. Come here. Frog. Right? The artist that did these did so well. They have all sorts of different plushes. I'm tempted to grab some of the Pokemon plushes that they have too. Yeah! Yeah, I had it on my, so it clips to your Ahoge, so... Or it can, anyways. Man, I can't get it to clip to it. There we go. I have moving parts on the hair for when I smile. Uh-oh. Eventually, I want to do, some CRPGs, though. That's a plan. That might happen after we're done with, Monster Hunter, though. I'll probably put a poll out for what kind of CRPG game we want to play. Because as much as I like doing my shooters, I want to be able to vibe. Let me make this a little bit smaller. There we go. But yeah. Yeah, this model has a lot of toggles. Because this was my main model for the longest. This one, and then the model that I was using before also has a lot of, has a few toggles. I still, not nearly as many as this one, though. That's for sure. Also, hi Zari! Welcome, welcome, hun! Hello, our Demon Lord Possum! I have 2 Bondies in my chat. On IRIAM end. There was another thing that was updated. I don't remember what it was. With this model. Hang on, let me check. Here... I'm just gonna go to a random one. We're gonna go over to my main model and check it. Momo base. There we go. It was something to do with, I think, hair? I could be wrong, though. I have the long hair on right now. No, these are all the same. Oh wait, I think this one's new. Possibly. Looks new. Of course, I turn all of that off because I like the vibes of just having it like this. Oh no. I'll have to check the changes log. Let me check here. But yeah, you missed us yapping about Soul Calibur earlier, Zari, if you're a Soul Calibur fan. Or just general games and games in general. Open data folder. Is it in config? No. Oh, we're gonna need to actually open up the import model, open folder. Okay. Here we go. SameAme 1.5. Ah, here it is. Here's the bug fixes. So 1.1, 1.2. Oh, we got a new hair bun. New hair bun, new ears, and a new antenna in the whole... Okay. Hang on. So we got new ears, technically. So we'll pop over to my main model. It looked like it was like down ears, so... Where is... There's Momo Base. I have so many toggles. Animal ears. So, apparently these... I can't really see it because that... These are new. They're like little raccoon ears. Wait! They're like little raccoon ears. Oh, if they don't add a raccoon tail, I riot. Raccoon Momo could be a reality. Other than cuttlefish, raccoons and bats are my two favorite animals. They're my two terrestrial animals. That I really like. Yes! So cute! Yes! Yeah, because this model has bear ears, more bear ears. I think those are actually supposed to be mouse ears, but... Pupper, Benui, cat / fox ears, because you can make them bigger. Bat ears, and then the little cute raccoon ears. But I want to check the side ears. Okay, yeah. The rigging's a little weird with these. Not gonna lie. Also, thank you for the 1,000 stars, sorry. The rigging's a little weird with these, but they're cute. And of course, the Loppy bunnies. These were like the really Loppy bunny. Yeah, so I actually have the ring on my necklace because of my partner. It's a kind of like a show that I'm with somebody. And then we had one for the horns. Ah, a Tenna! Yeah! The spider monkey around in the attic and resist the urge to eat forbidden cotton candy. Yeah, don't eat the fiberglass. The cotton candy is not worth it. The attic cotton candy is not worth it. Oh wait, I could totally do like a moth toggle now, I think. Hang on. Do we have butterfly wings yet? I don't remember. Oh no, we just have the angel and the demon wings still. Darn. Can't do creature. Moth creature yet. Oh well. Shame. And then we got a new bun. So I'm gonna give those a look too. I crawled from the deepest parts of hell. Let's see here. So there's new bun. Oh, it's like a drill bun. It's actually kind of cute. I normally do this bun for vibing too, so I might actually save that for this model. Unironically, hang on. Do I still have... Where is my Cult of the Lamb toggle? Right, it's this one. This is my Cult of the Lamb toggle for when I'm playing Cult. It is in no shape or form heavenly. Because I sometimes do full model themes for games I play. And Cult of the Lamb is one of my favorite games. We play that every once in a while. It is one of my favorite cozy games. And then back to normal. But yeah, no, I have a few toggles for this. Control Shift V, I think? No. Like, we of course have 10-0 toggle, which is this. It's the closest I could get to my drifter. I am working on Drifter Momo for fan art and stuff. And then Control Shift N. I forget what my Cyberpunk one. This is my Cyberpunk one that I normally run whenever I'm playing Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk or adjacent game. I tried to make it look a little bit more Decora themed in Asian pop. Big ones. Ah, the V-Day one. I was right. It was just a separate one. So this was my V-Day one that I did to be as close as possible to my Valentine's Day PNG that I made for IRIAM End. Which I think I did pretty good getting close to. And then of course we have Goth Day, which is technically labeled as Bat Momo. The Goth toggle. Actually, wait. Hang on. It has the Banui ears, and that's actually kind of perfect. Kind of gives me a Baphomet look. That actually... I'm going to keep that. I'm keeping the Baphomet look. Eventually we'll have, like, proper evil Momo. I don't know why it did this. But it's funny. It's funny that it did. There we go. I'm fine with Baphomet Momo for now. Okay, why are you? Are you weird? There we go. There we go. Fixed. There we are. You know, this would be funny to do for, me and Lavi, co-streaming together. Or not co-streaming, collabing. Is to use the, the Baphomet Momo as the toggle. I mean, depending on what we're playing. So, funny thing, I can't use... Yeah, no, this model is so good. It is a half-body model, so it's not a full-body model. Because it's the SameAme custom, so no legs. I am legless. But it's pretty low, like, low stress on the machine. It's really nice. But yeah, no, I love this toggle. And the Baphomet ears wasn't something I was expecting. I wasn't expecting the Banui ears. But I'm not mad. I'm taking my sippy. I am slowly running out of water and it's gonna be only ice. If that happens, I might go grab scissors and put it in my, cup. And go get drink. Proper. I mostly have the ice water here, the ice water bottle, because it's hot in here. But yeah, no, so today is actually the start of Soon Scoop, so whenever Lobby gets online, I'll probably pop over there. I don't know what else to do. Oh wait, I could turn this into a Destiny play. I've been playing through, because I realized on this account, I never got stasis. So I'm running through, speed running, Beyond Light and getting stasis. So I could do that. I could do a stress test and see how bad it is. If we do that, I'm gonna swap over to the other model. Let's see here. Let's turn off our music real quick. Turn off the music. Let's see here. The intrusive thought has won. I also don't know how loud this is gonna be, so, bear with me. Hello, Battle Eye. Yes, yes. Open up, please. As much as I hate you. I'm gonna close Opera. Opera and Discord. Just to make sure that the computer does not blow up. But yeah, no, I've been playing through Destiny for a little bit. I've played Destiny. I started playing Destiny in 2021, I would like to say. So the end of Witch Queen? During Season of Plunder, there we go. Also, hello, Ella! Welcome, welcome, hun! I am MomoYumeko, magical girl in training. I do cozy streams, TTRPG streams, and gaming over here on IRIAM, and a few days a week over on Twitch. Welcome, welcome! Alrighty. We'll see if it loads, because it was having issues last night loading. We'll see. We'll see if it borks the stream, or we're good. So far, we're not having any issues, at least on IRIAM end, and IRIAM's picky. So we'll go ahead and swap over to our gaming screen just in case. Gaming stream. Game. Not Final Fantasy. D2. Please and thank you. Oh! Oh! Are we getting in? Okay, we're in. Cool beans. Me go back here. Why is this not showing up? Why is this not showing up? I am confuzzled. I'm very much in the game. Huh. Is there a setting I need to do? There might be. I'm so confused. Video? I'm confused. It's not showing up here. Let's try it full screen app. me go back here and then go back in. I am confuzzled. Okay, there's VTube Studio. Destiny just doesn't want to pop up. That's worrying because that's what I want to do this week. I don't care if you guys see my Steam. Okay, yeah, no, I don't. That's weird. I'm logged in. What the heck? Let me look at this. Hang on. Yeah, I might have to use display capture. That's weird. Yeah, let me do that. Display capture? Alright. You guys get to see my cursed stuff here for a second. Can I shove this all the way down to the bottom? There we go. Infinite orbs. Into the infinity portal. Oh, I hate this still. Yeah, I haven't played this in a hot minute, so I'm like attempting to figure out everything again. Let me grab my controller. I do not do this with keyboard and mouse. Let me know if anything breaks. Yes, Warlock. Warlock best class. Oh, wait, I need to change my, thing. Hang on. We're not in, thingy. Hang on. There we go. There we are. Crisis averted. Had to change it. But yeah, no, I agree. Warlock is best class. Why? There we go. Curse me for the frogs. Yeah, let me add the frog. Actually, before we do that. Hang on. Let me turn off display capture real quick. It's so weird that I have to do display capture. Depending on how this is running, let me know if the model starts bugging and I'll swap over to the other model. Boop. Because I do have a lot going on with this model. Yeah. Another frog. You move. Whoops. This one got caught on my wing. Spin it. There we go. Here. You got another frog. Alright. So we're going to hopefully try to finish. I want to finish Beyond Light. Sometime. There we go. Sometime tonight, maybe, possibly. We'll see how long we're in matchmaking. Cause that's like the one thing I've realized is pretty bad is the matchmaking right now. But that's because there's like 5 people online. There's more than that, but not a lot of people are going through the stories fully. We'll see. We'll see. We're not gonna play for long. But it depends on how long we're in MSQ hell. It might make the us starting on a fresh hunt or a fresh guardian really funny. I have a feeling most of it's going to be us waiting. Oh! Are we going in? Heck yeah, we're going in! I cannot hear it real well, so I'm going to guess you guys can't hear it real well. Because I have it super low. There we go. Oh! I'm an idiot. Hang on. Bink. Back to the infinite hallway. That's better. There we are. Display capture on. Thank you for reminding me. I don't even remember what I was running last night. Weapons-wise. Apparently a pistol. You know, I always liked Aramis. Aramis was always cool. Like an interesting villain. Plenty of orbs. I will take all those. Allies up here. Yes, I'm using Prismo Warlock. But yeah. I can't tell. Are you a Titan or are you a Warlock? That's a Warlock. Right? I'm so used to Warframe being able to check what people are playing. I cannot tell if that's a Titan or not. Dumb Warlock comes in. And I'm really bad at aiming. I used to be really good at aiming. Ugh! Hello! Hi, how's it going? That servitor just spawned on my head. He chose to say hello. Oh, the Vex Milk. Heck yeah. I have another word for it, but that's not PG-13. So you guys get Vex Milk, which is equally as cursed. God, I love the ragdolling in this game. Hi, friends! But yeah, this is like mid. Yeah, no, the ragdolls are too good. Up here? Can I go up here? No, I cannot. Oh no! I knew I was gonna kick the bucket here. There we go. Hey guys, I'm helping, I swear. Okay, I'm swapping to something else. I have no idea what weapon. Don't shove me into the Vex milk. I have no special ammo. Well, heck. This'll be fine. Drink your milk! Yes, no, the Vex milk, very tasty. Take a nice long sip. You might survive the sip. uh, so, I've actually thought, when I was first starting to play Warframe, I actually had the little thing of my Drifter and Guardian were the same person because of all the timey-wimey stuff. And I actually kind of forgot that I did that, was that my, my Guardian and my Tenno were the same person, technically. Hi, Aramis! Oh yeah, isn't this the Vex? Yeah! It's this! Oh no. Please die. Like, now. Where did the Vex go? I will say, one of my favorite, classes, one of my favorite races is the Vex. Alright, that's fine. Damage phase again. Me and this Warlock are vibing. Take care of... Hi, Lobby! Hi, Lobby! Hi, my Lobby. How are you today? We be vibing. We were chatting, and now I'm just, playing some Destiny. Killing some, Vex. As one does. Yippee! Vex killed. Yes, we have different triggers. I have the goth one on right now, so yoink. Yep, saying my goodbyes to Destiny. It's always great to see that I have too much glimmer. Yeah, no, so I realized on this account I had never gotten stasis. Because this is technically my second account. Yep, RIP Destiny. I still love how they did all of this as like a storybook. Uh-oh. IRIAM ends dying. That's fine. I can... Oh, wait, no? Yep, nope. We're just gonna end IRIAM stream. IRIAM end is, struggling. Struggling TM. Oh! That's fine. Internet be like, nope, not allowed. One truth. So this was the start, like, okay, so Shadowkeep was the start of all of this. Well, I mean, technically. Kind of. It was when we were starting to find the pyramid ships. This is kind of the, oh, we're starting to actually learn what the darkness is. I kind of view the darkness personally, like the actual, like, magic of it, as not what the witness was doing, as we come to learn. What do I have? Nox Cereal. So we had a fusion rifle and a hand cannon. We're gonna keep the hand cannon on. And then Archon's Thunder. Oh, wait. That actually has light level, so we're gonna swap to the thing with light level. Oh yeah, no. This is my Warlock. Don't mind my sparrow behind me. That's the brightest colors known to man. Oh wait, how does this look actually? Because I have it on display capture, so prepare for this. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, actually. Maybe. Because I just plopped it in. No changing size or anything. So we're going to do that real quick. Wow. Display capture. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Yay! That works. There, now you can properly see everything. Yes, I'll have a new class item. That means I can get my light level even further up. Which makes me happy. Come on. Connect, please. Thank you. Did we put that one on? Yeah, we'll put that one on. Put that one on, and then just as quickly, let's upgrade a little bit. Do that so we have our super backup. We'll masterwork it, just for the giggles. Do that. Do that. And do that. There we go. I am a super spammer. By the way. If that wasn't already seen. Where are we going? Wait. Oh, we're going back down here. I'm just gonna teleport. But yeah, welcome to Europa! Hi, Exo Stranger!
Darkness is a parasite. It burrows its way into your soul and feeds on your most selfish desires. Your every wish, tainted and twisted, as you become the very thing darkness wants you to be. In that world, there is no future for any of us.
I still find it really funny with Zavala doing his thing. And then what happens in final shape. Because, if I remember right, stasis is supposed to be stillness. Yeah, stasis is like, entropy, if I remember correctly. Oh, wait, actually. Yeah, do my emotes. Hehehe. I'm so used to playing on a PlayStation controller, so I'm like over here trying to remember where everything is on a Xbox controller. Time to go see the Darkness Temple again and make my hands go numb. Because it vibrates. Yeah. The one I feel sorry for about all of this is Ghost. Oh wait, do we have to commune to the other one? Or did we already? Are we good? Okay, yeah, no, that's locked. We good. Off we go. Adventure. I saw that I got a notification. Ah, Star started streaming. That makes sense. Mia, Lavi, as soon as you start streaming, I'm gonna pop over to you. Hee hee, cat mode. I gotta know what that looks like. Hang on. With all of the toggles I have going on. That's great. CMT, so 7 o'clock for me. Got it, got it. Hee hee hee, cat mode. I love this model so much. I'm glad that it actually works with this game. Or that it works well with this game. I'm surprised. Gotta get off the sparrow. Up here. Are we hoofing it? Let me check. Are we hoofing it? We are not hoofing it. I refuse. We'll just go over the ice block. But yeah, I never got stasis for some reason. I think it's because I don't really like how stasis runs. It's not my favorite, warlock subclass. I really like prismatic, mostly because I get to mix all of the light ones. And strand. Meow. Yeah, based. Yeah, no. I feel that. Whee! Oh, the music in this game. You know, there are some people that have done mock-ups of a crossover with Warframe and Destiny. And that would have been awesome. You know how awesome freaking D2 um Warframe crossover would have been? Because they both do, like, this is a crossover, but also, like, this can fit in the world. I feel like that would just be sick. Like, especially, like, if they gave us, like, Cyandanas that looked like some of the D2 cosmetics, like, Warlock robes would look cool on some of the Warframes. There we go. Gotta waddle all the way over here. Is it just gonna be Vex? Oh, thank you for the sub, Lavi! You're too sweet. Wow. But yeah, no, I love this game. It's a shame that we might not get another one. Oh! Hello, friends! Hi, how's it going? Get deleted. Trying to get Momo killed. Nah, I'm better. I'm better. Hee 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 hee. Yes, Fluster the Momo. Have I really not used fusion rifles that much? I mean, they are a special, weapon. Come here. My threads are going crazy. There they go. My goons. Also locked. Yes, please give me special ammo. I'm special ammo hungry. I'm special ammo hungry, please. I was gonna say, I have a feeling they would crawl out of the woodwork, but they haven't. Is that mean-spirited? Because the Elixni are kind of bug. They're space bug. We're saving, our super for when Aramis shows up. Commune. Hee hee hee. You are free to fluster the Momo. Explode that. I know that there's more. There we go. Come on. Meet. No, 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 sir. No, no. No, 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 no. Please die. Okay, we're gonna go and sort this. Yeah! We're just vibing. Yeah, I'll see you later! We are going to come and raid you. If they're on— oh my gosh! Why is there so many servitors? Love you too, Bobby. Why is there so many? That's too funny. There was like 10 of them. Why was there so many? Beach ball time. Yeah, no, I love Destiny. This is my last hurrah through Destiny. On my main account, I realized that I never got, Stasis. Or on my main Guardian. So I'm fixing that. We've been playing through, Beyond Light. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be playing this, like, until the 9th. So everybody's free to join. That's my rules anyways. Is you're free to join as long as you don't and like reminisce of the good days. Because we all know the bad. We all know the bad that Bungie's done, but this is a time for reminiscing of the good. Another frog. Mm-hmm. It is vibrating. Hang on. Get away from the darkness crystal so I can add this without the ASMR of the controller vibrating against my desk. Hang on, let me swap this over to game. Just cause, I don't want my files being leaked onto the internet while I do this. Cause I have to do, it's so borked. Yes, the frog makes everything better. Indeed. Blue frog. No, not the snipping tool. I just want frog. Here we go. That's ironic, because we're in a cold area. And the blue frog has, snowflakes on it. There we go. I might actually wait. Game properties. Ah, okay. So, it actually says in OBS that D2 can't be captured using game capture. It has to be used with window capture. Oh, wait, I can use window capture. Hang on. We can use window capture instead, so I don't have to keep swapping back and forth. Is it showing up? It is not showing up. Is it because I'm not in it? Because I was using a display. Curiouser, curiouser. It's not showing up with window capture. Here's VTube Studio. Yeah, no, it's not popping up. Oh, I guess we're gonna keep on using display capture then. Order, move to the bottom. There we go. Yep. We'll just have it borked slightly. Ever so slightly. I'll probably mess around with it later to see if I can get window capture to work. Yes, I am a warlock main. There's my warlock in all her glory. Yes, awoken warlock. Oh, wait, actually. This isn't the correct cosmetic. There we go. We'll do it like that. Ooh, Exo Hunter. Yes. Exos are so cool looking. Honestly, I like a mix of both. I like all of the races, even the humans. We're just gonna teleport. I'm too lazy to crawl back out of here. Exactly. Yippee! Hi, Barracks.
Aramis wished to return the elixir.
I like the Elixni voices.
Wished to follow her, but her anger has made her blind. And it has made
They scratch a nice spot in the brain.
Aramis cannot save the elixir, and we cannot save Aramis. We must help the elixir who wish to flee Aramis. We must give them the second chance.
She promised.
And then
I have played Destiny Rising though.
you to end.
Frog. Grab that. We'll grab that. Yippee! We leveled up the battle pass, boys. Let me get rid of the blinkies. Oh, we got an Eververse gem. Oh, I won't complain about that. Let me go ahead and use it. Might as well. Ooh! Is this the one that I wanted? Hang on. ADHD go burr. Is this the one? Is this the color palette? Yeah, this is the one of the ones I wanted. Really, like, might as well. It's the last hurrah. Ooh, and Sunrise Warrior. Ooh. Ooh. We might save up our Bright Dust for that. Because that looks cool. Yes! You are free to join me if you want. Actually, do we go, like, tacky as all heck for now? Because, like, I have Breezy Clear, and that's probably the funniest one. Sadly, no time tonight. That's fine. I'm going to be playing this all week, so... We're doing Sunrise Warrior. We're doing the brightest possible pink. That's perfect. Hello, Pants! Welcome, welcome, hun! Oh, right, we have our thing here, too. gonna swap back to Nightlight. Hello, birds! Welcome, welcome, hun! Yeah, that'd be fun! I'd be totally down to do that, John. Where are we going? Over here. Okay. We're going the wrong way. What's its name? I mostly call it just Ghost. I've always, just called him Ghost. Though, my old character... Yeah, no, my old character also called him Ghost. Oh, Butters! Okay. Because I used to play with a fire team when I first started playing from a friend of mine. Ooh, I like that. So, my first, Guardian was named Hound, because my PlayStation name at the time was Hound Echo. And then, I swapped over to Altaria, which is actually a D&D character name of mine. But also a really old pen name, Gemini Altaria. So, this Guardian is just named Altaria, and then my ghost is Ghost. Where am I going? Is there a hole? No. We're going into the cave. I haven't done Beyond Light in so long. Oh, there's a lost sector right there. I'm gonna guess it's up here. Yep. But yeah, Altaria is the name of my, thing. And that also, if you've ever noticed, with Warframe, that's also why my Warframe name is Altaria99. Because, you know... my name on here is Altaria99. Yeah, you're free to message me if you want. My DMs are open. I think I have Astrea and Star in my friends list, so more to the collection. We be hoofing it because I am an idiot. Hang on. Hence why I call myself the smartest, dumbest, warlock in existence. Is it in there? There are so many markers for things. Oh. Well, up we go. Requires field emitter. Ah. Let's go say hello. I can see you guys. I hope you know that. Hopefully not die. Holy heck. Okay, we're just gonna pop this. hopefully not die a horrible, horrible death. You don't have to stay here, right? I don't think. Doesn't look like it. Right, we have to go to these. Like I said, I haven't done this in, like, at least a couple years? Okay. Go away. Rude. Tamper. Where are they dropping? Oh, they're dropping over here. I just saw someone with the funny, lightsaber. That's too good. There we go. Chaos. Chaos is what's happening, currently. Well, that's fine. I've never stated that I am the best Destiny player in the world. Yeah. I'll check it in a second. Alright, where's the other one? High value target is nearby. And of course it starts blizzarding, to where I can only see like 5 feet in front of me. Weapons are optional. I love that. Spoken truly. Tamper? Where's our friends? Here's our friends. Oh. They brought a brig. Oh no. I fell into the abyss. There we go. Oh, we already got it. Cool beans. I will take the heavy ammo. Complete the Kill of Darkness. Yippee! I think we're almost done. Are we almost done? Yeah, let me collect stuff. Okay, that's not what I heard. That is not what I heard. I heard the skin is prepared, not the skiff is prepared. And I was like, what the heck, Varix? And then I used my eyes to read. I used my eyeballs. I don't use them often.
You deserve safety, away from illness.
Let's see here. Where are we going? Going up here. Aww. Come here. Bonk. And bonk. Man, we're not gonna get, like, Halloween events anymore, either. The Halloween event was always my favorite. I like doing the go in. The CC is interesting at its interpretations. Understood. Yeah, no, the CC is very funny. Explode. Forest of the freaking pumpkins. Yes, the Forest of Pumpkins. Elixni and the Vex are fighting. We're just gonna let them vibe. Y'all fight each other. I'm completely fine with that. Exactly, I am too. And like the shaders and stuff. One of my personal favorites. I don't normally use black shaders. I don't really like the look of black shaders, but I do like the Skelligal one. From not this past year, but the year before. Alright, let's go take down this brig with a sword. Shenanigans ensue. I don't think we're supposed to do it like this, but... Ow! Okay, never mind. Exactly. Where in the heck? Oh, I'm all the way back here. I wasn't expecting to kill them all that fast. To be fair, I am using a heavy weapon, but... I'm turning into a Beyblade of Death. Exactly. On one hand, it's understandable. I feel... I'm under the impression it probably should have stopped at Final Shape. But I know that they were trying to buy time for Marathon. And I will say, no hating on Marathon. Even if it struggled, made everything the struggle. I am under the theory that there was someone praying for the downfall of D2. Sadly. What is your favorite exotic? I'm out of the loop a little bit because I haven't played in like a year. I intend Thursday to start Final Shape. Or not Final Shape. Yeah, same. I'm not a big fan of how Marathon is. But that doesn't mean that other people don't like it. It's just not my cup of tea. Last word. Ooh. I'm basic. I like Sweet Biz. I've liked Sweet Biz since D1. Grab my Tingle. There's enemies behind me. Where? Where are you? Oh. Did it drop any special ammo? No special ammo. Darn. Where are we? Oh. Ooh. I do like Quicksilver. Quicksilver looks cool. Oh! The Manticore is another one I really like. As for armor, um, the wings of dawn. Wings of Dawn and Geomags. Even though Geomags aren't the best any they got severely neutered. Whoa! Man, I don't even remember how many kills I had on my old account with Manticore. There she is! Oh no. You're the other one. You just kind of looked like her. Oh, I could have finished him. There she is. How about no? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shush. Shush, Aramis. Even though you sound cool. I love Aramis's voice actor. We lock you up in prison and then kind of forget about you. I don't remember. Does Aramis ever come out of the prison during, whenever we were doing Season of Heresy?
Wasted serving false gods. Allow me to help you break free. Ghost! I can't. I'm sorry.
Of course, she freezes Ghost.
Look what I've done for you. No more light. No more dark. Look within. Focus your power. How interesting.
Okay.
You have to break here is you.
Yeah, no. See, like, I like the really odd side bits. I like the side stories. It's very sad that we don't get them anymore, though. Alrighty. Exactly. The one thing I don't like is how long they waited to tell the people that were working on the next expansion learned when we did. Yeah, it was during Heresy. She helped us. Or not Heresy, the one about the Kel houses. There we go. Yeah, episode 2 was when she helped us. Yeah. I got mixed up on the episodes. I need to deal with some ads. Yeah. We're just gonna keep smacking you with the wand. I'm gonna go deal with some of these beach balls, cause holy heck. So many beach balls. So many beach balls. Yeah. Honestly, like, I liked the episodes. Also, Failsafe is our ship, or on the ship now. And I love that. Exactly. Yeah, we have Vex now free of the hive mind, which is crazy. Yeah, they really were just seasons with less content, which, from a game design standpoint, it makes sense why. Yeah, no, Heresy did get shafted. Because, like, over half of the freaking voice acting was in non existence. I was so sad.
It will not end this way. It can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't blame Bungie for it. The actor strike was pretty bad. And there she will stay for, like, 3 years. But yeah, no, I do agree that Heresy got shafted because of the actor strike. Which isn't a big issue, but also, like, I missed so much of Zivu's voice acting, or Zivu's lines, because I didn't realize that she was talking.
You see now, darkness resides within, beckoning you, as it has to many others.
Also why I do,
Timelines.
the thing, so I can hear it correctly.
One pervaded by darkness, where guardians abandoned their light at the call of temptation. In that world, you were no exception. Here, in this world, light and dark swirl within you side by side, giving you strength. All
Because
because
we're
of what you
special.
are once more.
TM.
You live here for one reason and one alone: to fully harness the darkness within you.
Yeah, like, they had very little voice acting.
Expecting you.
They had a few lines, but not much. Yeah. Other than that, I really liked Heresy. Yay, we get to go to the ziggurat again. Time to go get my hands. Time to make my hands numb again.
Guardian, how are you? Once Aramis is defeated, I hope you won't have to wield stasis anymore.
That's ironic. I probably won't. Uh-oh. Ship time.
I just want you to know, I'm here with you. Through light or dark. We're partners. Always.
I know, Ghost. I can't wait to shatter you guys again. Boom, boom. Boom. Yippee! And let's get out of here so my hands don't go numb. don't remember the voices talking in my head for that long. Let's see if Eris and Drifter have anything to say.
You're far from true mastery, but your progress with stasis makes a step forward for our
My favorite character was always Eris. I like Eris more.
to explore this path.
She's spooky.
The younger you assume.
I was very Heresy made me cry. Like, I actually, like, bawled like a baby during Heresy.
Demonstrate how the darkness can be
You guys have seen my, one of my friends that joins me for, FF14. I was sending them, screenshots of what was happening during Heresy, because he got a little bit into Destiny, but not much. The reason why he dropped it was because, how bad the new light experience is. Honestly. And I'm like, nah, no shot they just killed Eris. There's no shot. And then, I got to see the scene of Drifter holding her. Calling her Moonlight and everything, and that made me break down and cry.
That power looks good on you, kid. Real snappy. When the world goes to hell, folks like you and me just keep on going. Still gotta work. Still gotta get paid.
Drifter's also a favorite of mine. I really like the Dark Vanguard. They're just very interesting. Hi, EXO.
control of the darkness within and some elements to her end. It's time the
That's what we think.
itself to you. I mentioned before, another timeline. My own. Where Aramis lived, and the temptation of darkness thrived.
I do like EXO's
Invaded,
design.
subdued, and preyed on their desires, bringing about a new dark age. I felt these
Her design
events
is really pretty.
and though I still do, you've given me cause to hope again. Our fight is far from over. We must prevent that dark future no matter what. Thanks to you, I stand no longer at a familiar end, only a promising new beginning.
And we got no time to explain. Which is really funny because of I have no time to explain because I have no time to explain line. Who's this one I was gonna grab? Oh right, it's pulse rifle. Alrighty, I think that's Beyond Light. Yep. We got all of our subclasses. I don't have everything unlocked. I should mind you. You know, definitely don't have everything unlocked. But I'm pretty comfortable with this build. Oh, my heart. Yeah, I'll probably end for the now. We've been streaming for about 3 hours. Oh. And I want to recharge my social battery for when Lavi starts her stream. I don't know if she's going to be streaming on Twitch. More than likely not. Because it's an IRIAM event. Let me pop over here. Scenes. Chat and stream. But yeah, Thursday we'll definitely do more of this. Did we get any more frogs? I do not remember. I want to do frogs before we... We did do frogs. Oh, IRIAM? It is... I actually have the spelling down in my stuff. IRIAM. I'm interested in the Hear Me Outs too, because I need to actually add some to that. Yeah. She might have it linked in her panels and stuff. Possibly. Did I get... How many frogs did we get today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. 9. 10, 11, 12. We have 12. 12 frogs. Okay, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we still need the last 3. Okay. We're gonna yap a little bit. As a closing bit. So. we got 4 more. Sure, it's just 3? Let me get, here open. Alright, let's see here. Frog. I'm gonna get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. There we go. It's all 4. This is a lot easier to do over what I was doing, which was doing them each individually. Oh, that's attached to my wing. That's okay. I have no idea who's, stuff talking us. And then we'll do this frog over here. There we go. Here, let me swap back to normal chill mode. There we go. Oh, what in the world? This frog is still attached to the wing, and the wing doesn't exist right now. That's a little curse. We'll move it to our shoulder. It's actually technically the hair. Still the hair. That's okay. we'll move him right here. He can still stay right here. There we go. I'm gonna close Destiny for now. There we go. So yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 frogs. Froggy. Hee. There we go. But yeah, no, so, tomorrow we're gonna be having an off day. We'll be taking off tomorrow. I got D&D games, so we'll be just vibing. Thursday, we're going to get started on doing, Edge of Fate. Cause I haven't done Edge of Fate or Renegades yet on my main account, so we'll start on Edge of Fate. We'll see what happens. And then, I'm hoping we get done with Edge of Fate and Renegades this week, and then next week we can work on getting the brand new Guardian through Hades, through all of the expansions. Oh yeah, Friday we're gonna start a little early. Friday we're gonna do Tenno dev stream. Warframe dev stream is Friday. I don't know what time, so let me actually pull that up. I think it's 2? But I could be wrong. Live streams, let me check. So as much PvP as I've done has been Gambit. I don't like Crucible all too much. I did do Iron Banana when it would come around, but yep, it's 2 p.m. For the dev stream. So 2 p.m. Friday we'll be yapping about the devs. We'll do dev stream watch along. Yes, I love Gambit. I was a Gambit in PvE. I also have tried my hardest to solo dungeons. Just because it's fun. It's funny. I've only done a couple raids. So I've done, I think I've done Crota. I've done Deepstone Crypt and Vault of Glass. Yes! Solo dungeons, exotic quests. Some of those I did it on, my old account, so it's been a couple years since I've done raids. But I wanna do at least the baseline stuff. we can do raids. I know Ventus is willing to join us. One of the IRIAM streamers I know. He's wanting to join us for raiding. So we might end up having a whole fire team to go raiding with. Mm-hmm. I mean, heck, if you want to do Pantheon 2.0, I am down for it. I'm willing to do Pantheon 2.0. I'm going to be awful at it. Alright, so, yeah. 2 p.m. to 3 is going to be Warframe, and then we'll watch the dev stream, which is 3:30 to 4:30. So we'll do Warframe, then Soulframe dev stream, and then we'll move into working through our thing again. Working through Edge of Fate if we don't finish Edge of Fate on Thursday. Which, with how I play expansions, probably not. we're probably it's gonna be a 2 to 3 episode thing for the expansions. I'm sometimes big idiot. I eat my crayons, as you saw. I am the most Titan-coded warlock in the known world. Heck yeah! Yeah, no, you guys are free to join. Oh, right, I was going to accept your friend request. Hang on. Copy. I want to do Last Wish. Yeah, so I want to do Last Wish. I haven't done Last Wish. It's one of my favorite it's one of my favorite things to do, like favorite raid, but like there we go. Friend code sent. Or friend code accept thingy has happened. Ha wa wa wa. But yeah, I'm willing to do any kind of raids. I'm gonna be awful at them, but it's gonna be fun. Hee 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 hee. But yeah, no, I am very chaotic, as you saw with my warlock playing. I'm also working on getting all of my gear up to snuff. Because I logged in, and I'm like, what in the heck? Why is everything 10? And I'm like, oh, wait, right. They Gesundheit, my heart. They reset all of your gear during, was it Edge of Fate that did that? Yeah, it was Edge of Fate. I loved Titan. Titan's my secondary. Oh, that's funny. Titan-coded hunter is beautiful. Yeah, no, I'm very Titan-coded warlock, as you saw. Back in the day when I was playing really seriously, for PvE, had my melee really high and my super really high, just so I could charge my melee a lot and beat the heck out of people with my warlock slaps. Oh wait, I actually have like screenshots from back then. Hang on. I don't know if they're on my computer or on the computers, but I can save it. Like, this is what I used to run. Which I need to upgrade, is it Relight? I don't remember the name of this gun. But I remember liking it a lot. And I was running it, and then I was like, I need to upgrade my stuff. Here we go. That's my set that I used to do. Mainly. That was the last time I played. That was the last time I played. That was back in January of 2025. That was when I stopped. I had a lot of fun though. Like, I think my favorite dungeon is probably Deepstone. Mostly because, one, the music. The sound design in the music is so good on Deepstone. Like, when you go out into space and everything's muffled because sound can't really travel in space. That was amazing. And then, my second favorite was probably Vaulted Glass because Vex are my favorite enemy type to deal with. It goes Vex, Elixni, and then the Cabal. I'm not really happy with the Cabal, and I really don't like the Dread enemies. Specifically the big guys, oh my gosh, what are they called? The Tormentors of the Dread enemies. Those guys are so annoying. I feel like I'm in a freaking FNAF game running from them. Final Shape was a nightmare. Oh, no, it's not the Tormentors. I could handle the Tormentors. It was the freaking Heralds. It was the Heralds I hated. Those guys were so annoying. There's one battle that I got stuck on for actual, like, 2 days. Because I kept on getting Engie. And I was like, I'm going to McLose it. I'm leaving this for now. I'm going to go take a breath. And that was so I assume people have played through Final Shape. The area that was the lobby, like the main lobby area for the tower, in D1, that spot. And there's like 3 or 4 heralds that spawn there during the Final Shape quest. There were two areas that I was very angry with. That one and the one where Cade and Crow are bickering back and forth, having a shooting competition with the drones. With the Shanks. And you're playing essentially Duck Hunt on steroids. That's the other one that I was like, I hate this. I hate everything about this. But I love Destiny. I have a lot of fond memories of it. It's a shame. It's a shame. I hope we get D3. Do I think it's going to be under Bungie? A hard wonder. A hard wonder. But I am hopeful. I'm hopeful for the future of it. And I'm excited to do the goodbye. The long goodbye. Yep, it's mobile only. It's only on phone. It's on Android and iOS. Other than that, it'll bring you to the website, I'm pretty sure. I will say, it will make your phone hot. Just a warning. One of my mods, actually for here, uh, his phone would get so hot that it started bugging out. So I gave him leniency to not have to come over to, IRIAM chat. He doesn't come on often because he's normally busy. But you'll probably hear my IRIAM chat talk about him. Normally one of my mods asks me about him. If you ever see JFlame in chat, that's one of the mods. He's cool. JFlame, Quantum, and Spark Converter are all three mods. Lavi too. She's a bot squisher. Because we normally come and pester one another in our Twitch chats. But yeah. Other than that, I think that's about it for me. I'm gonna get this VOD uploaded in a bit. We'll see how long it takes. But yeah, if you guys don't already know, I hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe. I don't have to come and protect you. And goodbye. Have a good night, everybody. But yeah, tomorrow we're off. It's an off day. And then Thursday we will start Edge of Fate. Oh boy. Hopefully I don't crash to via tumbleweed. I'm not looking forward to the bugs. Hopefully the bugs are squashed by now. It's been a year. Please. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe. I don't have to come protect you. And goodbye. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, no. Here we go. Press the wrong one.